for joining us on the very first edition of In the House for this new week. It's Monday, the 16th day of August 2021, and I want to wish a happy Assumption Day to all Catholic faithfuls. Yeah, the day was celebrated yesterday, the day believed that Mary ascended into heaven, body and soul. That's after her death, of course. And we are here to discuss another important, pertinent issue that affects social life, and today we'll be concentrating on children. I want to wish you all a happy holiday, public holiday as well, because yesterday, as we know, it fell on a Sunday, which is already a public holiday in Cameroon. So it's kind of, we are celebrating Assumption Day today. So majority of you are back at home enjoying the holiday appropriately alongside your kids. So today will be a perfect day to discuss today's topic. Should children be enrolled for holiday classes, or should they learn a trade? Should children be enrolled for holiday classes, or should they earn a trade? Yes, because most often when it's holidays, some parents would prefer to enroll their children. Others will say no, holidays is for resting and children should just rest, play and have fun, while others will say they need some revision classes, so they prepare themselves before school, especially when it's a month before the return to school, before rentrée scolaire. So I want to hear from you all as we will be discussing alongside a guest in the building. You get to know more about her. She's a teacher and a radio reporter, so don't go anywhere. But let's start the presentation with our panelists. Before I get there, go to our Facebook page, like, comment and share, and as soon as you're ready, send your contributions to the phone number you find there on your screen. WhatsApp and SMSs are read live on the program, and Facebook comments as well. GLADYS BOMOTONGUINA is here in the building. French Queen, Mom Pastor, and Gossip Girl. Good morning. Good morning, GLADYS. How are you doing today? You look good. Happy weekend. Weekend has ended and it's a new week. Happy new week. Thank you. Why does I have to say happy weekend? I was trying to ask, like, how was your weekend and happy new week?
No, it's like you knew that I had a happy weekend.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. For the first time, we decided to drop every other thing and just to get some quality rest.
I'm not going to do anything.
Okay.
Like rest.
Very, very important.
Effectivement. Bonjour à toutes les autres panélistes et bonjour à vous qui nous regardez à la maison. Et oui, c'est parti pour 1h30 minutes de votre talk show favori, In the House. Oui, aujourd'hui on va parler de quelque chose de très important qui concerne les enfants, qui concerne l'éducation. Et c'est un jour très bien choisi parce que, effectivement, c'est un jour férié. Parce qu'on a célébré, je crois, hier l'Assomption.
Assumption, yes, of Mary.
Yeah. Donc, du coup, je sais qu'au jour d'aujourd'hui, les parents sont confortablement assis devant leur poste de téléviseur et avec leurs enfants. Oui, parce que même ceux qui doivent aller faire les holiday classes, today, ils ne vont pas aller. Parce que c'est quand même férié en même temps. Nous sommes en vacances, mais bien qu'on fasse, les gens fassent les cours de vacances aujourd'hui, ils vont quand même respecter le fait que, c'est un jour férié. Donc, du coup, on va en parler sur ce plateau ce matin. N'allez nulle part, restez connectés, mais surtout envoyez-nous vos réactions.
Bien sûr, GLADYS, merci beaucoup. We also have Nora Kebei in the building, looking good as well. Good morning, Nora.
Good morning, Eileen. How are you?
I'm very fine.
Good, I could see that.
Yes, and your weekend was?
Great. The weekend was just perfect.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
You know, after having spent the weekend with the children, the Assumption day was just okay. And in fact, it continues because today is public holiday, and I think parents are back at home spending the, continuing the celebrations with the children. Good morning, beautiful ladies. Good morning, televiewers, and it's In the House O'Clock. Thank you for choosing My Media Prime as your preference this morning. It's In the House O'Clock, 1 hour 30 minutes of fun, education, and entertainment, and of course, we always discuss about societal issues. Today, we're going to be talking about children attending holiday classes or learning a trade. That's what we're going to be talking today, and just sending your contributions and let the show begin.
All right, thank you very much, Nora. And the last panelist in the house is our guest, like I said earlier. She's a teacher and a radio reporter. She's called Nzelle Fomus. Good morning, Mercy.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us today on In the House.
Thank you for inviting me.
It feels amazing to have you here.
Oh, Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we are here to discuss about children. You work a lot with children, being a teacher. You're definitely going to share your experience with us, how you juggle being a teacher and being a reporter, because both jobs are very, very demanding.
Of course they are. They are really, really, really demanding.
But so far, the journey has been good?
Yes, it has. I'm coping very well.
Okay.
You know, my radio reporting is during the weekends because I work with CBS Boya, Christian Broadcasting Service, and it's during the weekend because it's church activities.
Okay, so now you have more time to spend with the children, maybe during school time. Yeah.
Though it's not easy, you know, teachers, we don't focus on one school. We have other schools, you know, just to make the budget swell a bit.
Yeah, it's not easy. But then we thank God that you're coping. Which class do you teach?
Well, a teacher doesn't really have a specific class. As the year progresses, you choose. Sometimes you're assigned to teach this level, sometimes, but I cut across from one. It's a complete cycle.
Okay. All right. That's secondary school.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mercy. We're going to hear more from Mercy today. If you have any worry concerning kids learning, I don't know, during school time and even during the holidays, she's here, and she'll be the best person to answer that with the much experience she's gathered. But before we move any further, I want to know, how long have you been a teacher for?
I've been teaching for 9 years now.
9 years. Wow, that's almost a decade. So you're best. You're the best person to answer. Exactly, to answer the worries of parents and teachers. So we are here this morning. Should children be enrolled for holiday classes, or should they learn a trade? It's been a debate for many years now, and we want to hear you bring your contribution this morning to educate everybody out there. Let's take a musical bite. We'll be back here for the panelists to start telling us what they think about the two schools of thought on today's show.
Mon âme t'adore, Seigneur Jésus, de tout mon cœur, de toute ma pensée et de toute ma force. Je t'adore, ô Dieu d'amour, toi le Dieu très haut, le Dieu de mon salut. Te loue et je t'adore, Seigneur mon Dieu, de toute ma vie, je t'adorerai ton précieux nom, pour ce que tu es, ce que tu fais, ô éternel, je te bénis. Tu t'es sacrifié pour moi, oui c'est la croix du calvaire, et ton sang a coulé pour mes péchés, et sacrifice éternel, digne d'amour paternel. Son œuvre avec toi à de la gloire. Tu es digne d'être loué. Tu es digne d'être adoré. Hallelujah. te loue et je t'adore, Seigneur mon Dieu. De toute ma vie, j'exalterai ton précieux nom. Pour ce que tu es, ce que tu fais, ô Éternel, je te bénirai, te lèverai, mon Rédempteur. Tu t'es sacrifié pour moi, oui c'est la croix de Calvaire, et ton sang a coulé pour mes péchés, et ton sang me sanctifie, et ton sang me purifie, le son de la victoire, de la gloire. Yeah. Tu es digne d'être loué, digne es-tu, Seigneur, tu es digne d'être loué. Mon âme te loue, mon âme t'adore, car tu es digne d'être adoré. Mon nez entier te proclame digne, tu es digne d'être élevé. Les cieux, la terre, disent tu es digne, tu es digne d'être exalté. Digne es-tu, Seigneur, tu es digne d'être loué. Alléluia. Quatre êtres vivants et les 24 vieillards disent, tu es digne d'être adoré. Les cieux, la terre disent tu es digne d'être élevé. Yeah, tu es digne d'être exalté.
You're welcome back to the studio, beautiful one there from Rosie Bush. We did love it. Gospel music seems to be what most of our artists are turning to nowadays, especially those who are getting older. A beautiful way to live your life is serving God, using the little talent you have in whatever way. It always pays a lot when you realize you have something special. Give that back to God. All right, today we are tackling this very pertinent issue concerning children, their education, holidays, and what have you. So we are asking if we should enroll children, you know, for holiday classes, or should they learn a trade? Another school of thought could just be like, maybe they shouldn't even do anything during the holidays, just spend time with us and bond with us as parents. As a parent, what do you think? What would you prefer for your child? Gladys, I'm going to start with you. Okay, how important are holidays for children? What do you think? Before you answer today's topic as it is.
Effectivement, lorsqu'on parle de vacances, on parle de repos.
Ouais.
Voilà, donc les enfants ont eu un temps où ils étaient tellement occupés, ils allaient en cours, ils se levaient tôt. Il y a des enfants qui se lèvent même à 5 heures parfois, 5 heures du matin pour s'apprêter, aller à l'école, faire toute une journée, revenir, tout ça. À un moment donné, il faut bien, le corps a besoin du repos. Même quand tu es déjà adulte, à un moment donné, le corps a besoin du repos. À plus forte raison, un enfant. Lorsqu'on parle des vacances, des grandes vacances, ce n'est que normal qu'un enfant ait du repos, ait un temps de repos. Et au Cameroun, je crois que c'est 3 mois.
Exactement. This year it wasn't even 3 months. I think it was just 2 months.
Yeah, parce que je suis en train d'être étonnée que dans quelques jours, les cours vont recommencer.
With the coronavirus, things just change automatically. Because I remember, you know, I took my son for the holidays, and that he has spent just 2 months and the holidays
It's
are already
already finished.
Children came out from holidays, I think late July.
July, yeah.
Yes, around, was it late or mid-July, around mid or early July, and they had just July and August. Schools resume on the 6th of September. So it has been reduced.
It's not even 3 months again.
It's no more 3 months.
And it's, comment je vais dire, it is training for a child, you know. It's very important. Every person in life, when you are working, when you are doing something, you need to rest. That's why the Bible said that there is time for everything. If you don't rest, your body will ask you rest.
Why?
It will impose it on you, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why the holidays times are very important for children, so that for those that are waking up very early, they can at least, if they used to wake up at 5 a.m., they can wake up now at 7, you know. Si tu te réveilles à 5 heures pour aller à l'école, et que maintenant, pendant les vacances, tu te réveilles à 7 heures, 8 heures, ça te permet un peu plus de gagner en sommeil. Et puis, on connaît que le sommeil, c'est quelque chose qui est important pour la croissance des enfants. Beaucoup de personnes, on ne prend pas ça en considération, mais c'est quelque chose d'important et essentiel dans la croissance des enfants. Les enfants ont besoin de repos. Donc, du coup, lorsque on parle de grandes vacances, la première chose qu'on voit, c'est que l'enfant va se reposer. L'enfant va se reposer de lève tôt, va se reposer peut-être de l'affluence à l'école, des enseignements, parce que quand tu vas à l'école, c'est le cerveau, c'est le cerveau qui travaille. C'est le cerveau qui travaille. Et puis le cerveau a aussi besoin de se reposer, c'est pas une machine. Donc ça a besoin de se reposer pour qu'il n'y ait pas de saturation. Pour qu'il n'y ait pas de saturation. Voilà, c'est pourquoi parfois, quand on fait comment, lorsque on accumule beaucoup de travail intellectuel sur un enfant, on peut avoir des risques de surménage. Oui, on peut se retrouver avec des enfants surménés, et par après on se retrouve avec des enfants qui disjonctent. Et on se pose la question, mais pourquoi, qu'est-ce qui ne va pas? Mais c'est que l'enfant est surmené, l'enfant est surchargé intellectuellement. L'enfant a besoin du repos. C'est très important. Donc du coup, la prochaine chose que je vais dire comme avantage pour des vacances, c'est la relaxation. Les enfants ont aussi besoin de jouer. On en a besoin. Oui, ils ont besoin de jouer.
Take them to a playground and see how crazy they get. They get so excited.
Il y a des enfants qui carrément, on leur permet pas de jouer. Et ça a un impact négatif dans leur personnalité.
Oh yes.
Oui.
You know, like they say, all work without play makes Jack a dull boy. They really need that play.
Ils en ont besoin.
And some parents will say,
to be distracted.
The play, are they going to play for 3 months?
That's the thing.
What they'll ask.
Yeah.
They'll be asking that question. But then,
well, of course, like, children will not play for 3 months. It's just occasionally that you take children out for distractions and all of that. It's not like you're leaving the children.
But there no for that. Like, okay, you finish classes, you just enter another classes. Again. You know, you must be the first, and ever the first, and always the first. That's the thing. The problem is not that the child should catch up, have the right level of the class. No, the problem is that the child should be the first. Because we even see children that are the best in their classroom doing holidays.
Of course, and they have, apart from holidays, right, some children, their parents send them to school. After school, they have classes
at home, private classes,
and that is how their life is. And then during holidays, they continue.
You just overwork the children.
At the end of the day, overworked. At the end of the day, the child you were expecting to perform in a very nice way, to be outstanding. The child begins to. The performance begins to dwindle, and before you know it, you are instead having a child who is dull rather than an intelligent one, because the child's life is just book, and like you said, you know, when the brain is congested, it can really not give out what it's supposed to give out.
Donc c'est l'une des perspectives, l'une des raisons, comment je vais dire, l'un des avantages des vacances. Pendant les vacances, les enfants doivent avoir l'opportunité de jouer. Il faut qu'on amène les enfants à se relaxer. Qu'on les amène, je sais pas moi, en voyage, des parcs, des beach, c'est très important. C'est vrai que les moyens financiers peuvent empêcher les parents à réaliser ces choses-là, mais c'est important. pour ceux qui ont l'opportunité de le faire. Il faut
But life has levels too. Huh? You don't imitate those who are rich, who can afford those expensive places. I'm sure that even as somebody who is managing, there are also places for these children.
Exactly. For instance, some of our playgrounds in town with the famous supermarkets, if you have 500 francs, the one in Bonaberry is 500 francs, the one in Bonamusa is 1,000 francs, and the child is benefiting from a pack, maybe some fruit juice or soft drinks, and then maybe donuts and cakes and all that. So it's like you're promoting their business while your child is gaining some experience by playing with the kids. So I don't think 1,000 or 500 francs an ordinary Cameroonian will not sacrifice. Let's say even 2 times or 3 times during the long holiday period. I for one, I took my son out twice, and he was just so excited, Gladys. He felt, you know, when you take them there, they don't want to come back home. They can play from morning to night. The experience is quite different.
It's good.
It's quite different.
You know, sometimes it's not only about taking them to such places, right? I have there was a year holiday period. I had so many holiday makers in my house, and now to be able to satisfy them, maybe take them to such places, sometimes it's demanding. So what I did was that there was a price. I said, okay, this is 10,000 francs, and I'm going to be giving you Bible
quizzes.
Yes, you read the Bible and then you come and do your expose. It was so exciting, you know. You will find them, each person on the Bible, those who could read, and then in the evenings we'll relax and they come and do their presentation, knowing that there is a prize at the end of it. So the holiday it moved on like that, and at the end of it, at the end of that holiday, I realized that I could tell somebody, open to Isaiah this,
and they will do it.
They will do it. And they will do it. They did not have to go and attend holiday classes. And I have a child in my house now. When I can just say, please, how do I get to Ezra? Those strange books, just to test her. And before you know it, she will say, Ezra is between this book and this book.
Wow, that's good.
That's a good one.
Tu vois que ça prend de l'imagination des parents aussi, de savoir quoi faire.
Creativity.
De la créativité des parents, de savoir quoi faire pour amener les enfants à se distraire. Parce que c'est ça en fait l'importance des vacances. L'enfant doit se distraire. La routine de l'éducation tous les jours, il faudrait qu'en ce moment-là, l'enfant arrive à se distraire. C'est en fait ça. Qu'on mette un peu le book là.
Down.
On met un peu ça de côté et puis qu'on amène l'enfant à se relaxer. Et puis c'est dans ces pratiques-là que tu peux facilement déterminer quel genre d'enfant tu as. Mais c'est effectivement à ce niveau-là que nous ratons. Parce que parfois, on impose à un enfant les cahiers. Pourtant, il a une autre performance autre part.
And holiday is the best time for you to discover those potentials in a child. Just like you said, there is quite a lot. You know, parents are like, well, I want my child to be educated. I don't want them to mingle in the quarter, so let them go and attend holiday classes. We are not trying to kind of castigate those who are organizing these holiday classes. They mean well, but then we too should know better.
You are definitely going to talk more about the importance of those holiday classes vis-a-vis the importance of a child rest. You're going to have your say in a bit. Gladys, like we were talking, you were raising a point there that affected me. Because when I opened my son's book to teach him, ça ne va pas. Il ne veut pas. He doesn't want. Okay, play music. You know, see him, he will sing more than me and even more than the artist. He will dance perfectly. But when it comes to book work, he's not too carried away. So at the end of the day, I was like, why am I even forcing this child now? It's holidays. Let me allow him. Let him rest and play his games and do whatever. When schools will resume eventually, it's school time. Because not every child, like you said, has that orientation of always studying or wanting to be focused on the book. We used to call them bookworms. Not all man be bookworm. Take it or leave it. That's a fact. Not everybody is a bookworm.
Mais tu sais, ici en Afrique, on voudrait que tous les enfants soient, je sais pas moi quoi, des amoureux de l'éducation,
grammatique.
Amina est partie à l'école, Thomas a fait ceci. On aime bien ça. Et puis que l'enfant soit premier de la classe, ça c'est encore mieux. Voilà. Mais on ne refuse pas, c'est une bonne chose. C'est une très bonne chose. Mais on a besoin de laisser aussi parfois nos enfants se relaxer. Les enfants, ils ont besoin de ça. Prenons un exemple. Il y a des enfants qui, jusqu'à présent, font les cours, les cours de répétition.
Oui.
Et dans 2 semaines, ils doivent rentrer à l'école. Ils ont vraiment eu les vacances? Non. C'est pareil. C'est la routine. Ils se sont levés tôt. Ils sont allés faire les cours. C'est vrai que peut-être ils ne sont pas restés là-bas toute la journée, comme ils ont l'habitude de rester à l'école. Mais c'est presque la routine. On se lève tôt, on part étudier, on revient, on fait les devoirs, et puis il y a la bastonnade, et puis oui, parce qu'il y a toujours la bastonnade, il ne faut pas commenter.
You'll be forced to bastonner the moment he doesn't want to play ball, to study. The bastonner comes in.
Donc, il ne faut pas qu'on se mente, il y a toujours un peu la bastonnade dedans. Mais attends, prends le cahier, on a dit que Talo est parti à l'école. Toi, tu ne peux pas dire que Talo est parti à l'école tous les jours. Non.
C'est un problème. Exactly. Yeah.
Quand moi j'étais à la CIL, voilà, j'étais tellement nulle à écrire ce que je voyais au tableau. En fait, j'avais un problème de vue. Oui, j'avais un problème de vue, je ne vois pas loin. Et ma maîtresse ne connaissait pas. Donc, du coup, moi, j'étais en arrière-plan parce que j'étais un peu grande de taille. Donc, ce que moi j'écrivais dans mon cahier n'avait rien à voir avec ce qui était
au tableau.
Voilà. Donc, du coup, quand je vais rentrer à la maison, on va prendre mon cahier. Ma mère va lire, regarder mon cahier, elle ne comprend rien. C'est la bastonnade. Non, mais attends, toi, tu pars à l'école, tu copies quoi? Non. Donc, qu'est-ce que je faisais maintenant? C'est que je mémorisais. Je mémorisais. Donc, je commençais à réciter sans toutefois... Je ne lisais pas, en fait, ce qui était écrit. Mais je mémorisais. Si je connais que peut-être la première page du livre s'il dit que Talo est parti à l'école, je t'assure, moi, je vais retenir ça. Talo est parti à l'école. Quand tu viens me dire, lis, moi, je vais commencer à réciter.
You just recite what you have in your mind and not what is on the book. Yeah.
It's terrible. It is. And we parents will make children
voilà.
Do these things.
Mais la vérité, c'est que il y a des enfants. Moi, j'avais cette capacité-là de retenir. Mais il y a des enfants qui ne peuvent même pas retenir. Mais tu ne peux pas imposer ça à l'enfant. Tu ne peux pas. Parce que chaque enfant a son système, chaque enfant a son QI intellectuel. Tu ne peux pas demander à A d'être comme B. C'est pour ça que j'ai un problème souvent avec les parents qui comparent les enfants. Que non, toi tu es bête, l'autre est intelligent, toi tu retiens plus vite que l'autre. Non, ils n'ont pas le même QI intellectuel. Yeah.
You will not understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you just imagine, like way back when we were still growing, my father, he was a military man.
Yeah.
So rest in peace.
I can imagine.
So you know, how can a military man be teaching?
I can imagine.
And my younger brother suffered so much. You needed to. He will remove his
belts. Yeah.
And can't you just cram this thing? Can't you understand?
Yeah.
It's not his thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So he will not do it like a professional will do, because at some point you just get frustrated and impatient.
Yeah.
You don't know that it needs time for you to, you know, you just know, oh, the child, the child doesn't just want to understand.
Yeah, and you don't have even the knowledge on how you what you can use
to teach the child.
You just know that
in
this child
another
is
way.
doing homework.
Yes.
And since 2 plus 2 is supposed to be 4, you not tell the child how to come about with the 4. You just, if the child writes 3, beating start. Beating start. And I don't appreciate when I meet the parent beating the child, teaching the child and beating. Just imagine that like we have students, 80, 100, you have to teach all of them and they have to understand something. And some we just do the contrary. Just imagine that you have to be beaten as a teacher.
And I think that when you even instill the kid, you make the children frightened. Then they cannot even reason, because they're only afraid that once they do the least mistake they do, you are going to beat them. So
there's a part of my life that I don't want ever to go back there. It's when I was in primary school, you know, because I've been beaten. I've been seriously beaten. And it's not as if I was dull. I was not even dull, but I was supposed to be the first. You know, always be at the top. You know, and when you have like 15 over
average,
20, no, in fact you have failed.
The flop.
Fail, yeah, you know, and it was so embarrassing. And at the point that at times you as a child, you must start thinking that maybe your parents don't like you, they don't love you at all, you know.
they want the best for you.
Yeah, those are the thoughts that a child can have. Yeah, because the father or the mother does not have the patience or the right way to bring that child up in education.
That is Africa for you. That's Africa for you, you know. It is only when I became a teacher that I understood a lot of things. Sometimes, okay, you are kind of grading students at the end of an assessment, and you discover that in a class, the first person has 18.36 average, the second person has 18.35 average. You realize that the gap is not
wide.
Yes. So with my children, I look at the average. I don't even look at the position, because if you look at the position, a child can be the 10th, and that child still has 18 average.
Of course,
True.
And you would think that the first person has 20.
You might have 18.5.
Point. You understand? So it is when I became a teacher, when I started grading,
and you understood those.
Why are we just killing our children for nothing? They are looking at the position. Looking at the child's performance.
That's the thing. And nowadays, most parents have that same problem, and if you check, that's why they are putting the children in the holiday classes. Because they feel like, no, the child is not yet at the level. How can he have 15 when maybe the first, that is in him, they are taught now, the first is 18. It means that he's not in the level. Where if you go and check, maybe the first was 15 also.
That is it. When I was graduating from ENS Yaoundé, there was a certain department, the first person had 12 average.
Okay.
Then in our department, the 7th person had 15 average.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Those were 2 different departments.
Yes, 2 different departments. But the other way, they were celebrating somebody who has 12 average.
Wow.
Who is first? And then the other way, when you say you are the 7th, you're like,
with 15.
The person who came first in the other department would think that he's better off than you. With your 15 average and 7th position.
Exactly.
You understand? So sometimes it's not even about the positions.
The average, the grades.
Et beaucoup de parents ne regardent donc pas cet aspect.
They don't.
Ils ne regardent pas cet aspect.
They just want to be
la position.
Yeah, they just want to be first in class.
Premier de la classe.
Même si c'est premier avec 12 de moyenne.
Non, tu dois être d'abord premier.
we believe so much in the first position. First, you must be first in your class.
Well, but we encourage children to always be at the top.
Mais il faudrait que on utilise les vacances pour comment je dis, identifier les talents de nos enfants, les performances extra de nos enfants.
D'accord. Thank you very much, ladies. That was great. Let's get a few reactions, and we hear from Nora. Greetings, beautiful. You ought to have brought this topic when holidays just started, because there are parents who have sent their children for classes, and the idea of learning a trade is making sense. Learning a trade during holidays is better. It's never late, okay, to discuss about it, because we definitely will have other holidays coming up, and if you're listening next year, you might take a decision to teach your children like what she was sharing here, Bible quiz at home, or they should go for other extra activities and not necessarily holiday classes. Yes, because it's a month before the rentrée scolaire. Now it's already 2 weeks or so, and most parents are registering their children now. For the past 2 weeks, they just registered the children so they can have a month of classes before they resume. So it's never too late to learn, okay? All right, I think that was Clotilde from Bamenda. Thank you. Greetings to you in the house. Before I start, let's be clear. This is a fiercely debated topic, and opinions are divided. Some see holidays as an educational experience. Others argue that parents are criticized for not spending time with their kids, yet are sometimes only able to get time off from work during term time. Many call for a balance between education and family life. On the other side of the fence, though, there are claims that even one day off can be disruptive, and that term time holidays can have a lasting impact on learning. Finally, to me, holiday classes are not that important to me. Kids need time to be with parents and learn something new from their parents. Mother can use this period to educate her daughter how to take care of the kitchen, or even learn some new cookery skills from the mother as well. Children are always up for new adventures, and vacations are the best way to nurture their desire to learn new things. Family vacations help in child's brain development, which in turn improves concentration and is beneficial to physical and mental health. Peter Atem, the fearless socialist from China. Thank you very much, Peter. You've raised some pertinent points there. Like we've always said on this platform, and GLADYS always hammers on it, parents don't have time for their children. Parents are chasing papers, chasing money. Now it's holiday time for you to spend printed papers. Now it's time for you to spend a little bit of quality time with them kids, you know, and then you still send them back to holiday classes and all that, you know. Anyways, like you said, it varies from person to person, and each one has their say or their opinion. Now, Nora, you're going to highlight for us the importance of a child learning a trade during holidays. Yes, bring it on. Before we hear
Eileen,
from Mercy, she will balance the sheet for us.
Yeah, I think that it's very important for... Now, I want to start by saying that holiday classes, I'm not a fan of holiday classes.
Yeah, me
I really
too.
don't. I'm not a fan of holiday classes. I think that, just like this person said, it's a period where children have to bond, and then you leave them home, you know, learning other things. I think that we want to promote, for me, I would just want to promote the fact that children, when they are young, they need to be exposed to other things, other, you know, skills apart from education. You know, send them to learn other things like hairdressing, sewing, you know, many other things.
How
that
to
are
do nails,
the one which is trending now is makeup. Young girls do makeup and all of that. I think that it's very important, because when you get children out of the house to do things like, it becomes exciting, and of course they acquire more knowledge apart from the academics, you know, sitting in the classroom and all of that. It adds to them more, you know, skills in their lives, which can help them if at the later part of their life. And sometimes more those things are even income generating. Take for example a child who goes to learn, you know, makeup, or learn how to do manicure and pedicure. You can earn your you can earn your little money out of that, so that we don't wake up in the morning and you're asking for 100 francs or 1,000 francs for mommy and daddy. You can, you know, do something for yourself and then make your parents feel proud. And I think again that another advantage is the fact that they said an idle mind is a devil's workshop. You don't just leave children, you know, sitting at home doing nothing. You get them involved in things like this, so that, you know, there are a lot of things happening in our society with children. When they are idle, you just want to meet friends, and then they commit a whole lot of atrocities. And I think that if you engage them in, you know, these little traits, you take them away from some of this crime wave that that has it's in so deep into our society. We have children who just get out, they meet some bad friends, and then they get into, start sleeping with men from left to right. Those who are getting into drugs are getting into drugs. Also, when you get them engaged, especially in places where you know that, okay, you can find a responsible adult there who can, help you while you're away. You know that I'm entrusting my child under this person's care, and your child is, apart from that, the child is learning a trade or acquiring a new skill. You know that you've entrusted the child in under a responsible person. And of course the child, it can never be the same. It can never be the same.
Like GLADYS was saying, in Africa we've been made to understand that bookwork is 1 + 1. Mary is jumping the fence. Which color is this? What is the color of this book? And we think that's the best education for children. It goes beyond that. Let's be frank. Something that will not help that child. Exactly. What would that child? Let's say tomorrow government cannot employ that child. Can one? Let's say for business, maybe 1 + 1 can help. But will John is jumping the fence, or First World War started in this country? How would that help? How would that help the child? This person discovered Africa. This person discovered the trade route to America and all of that. But if you realize that a child has a skill, a child has a talent, a child has something,
promote it. You promote that, and then
at the end of the day, there is no job. This child can
fall back, or you become self-employed. You become self-employed.
The talent when they are still very young. I think we need to start thinking out of
about that.
Let me change something there.
Okay.
That was the
African
mentality.
Education. That was the African education that has been stolen from us, and they have brought us the reading one that we can just be communicating with them, but we cannot bring out something better from within us.
It's just in recent time that schools are trying to bring in this new curricula.
In as much as we promote this trade, but we are not condemning the fact that children of course you need to learn how to read and write. You need to learn at least to spell your name. It's very important. We are not condemning it.
But during the holidays, knowing to read in their dialect. Do they know even to say good morning in their dialect?
No,
they don't even know how to say good morning in their dialect. No, if you ask me how to say good morning in my dialect, I don't know.
I can speak it in French. I can speak it in English. In some schools now it's being promoted, because I remember my children come home every day asking Mama, how do you say good morning in your dialect? Because I come from Manu, my husband is from the northwest, and they come and say, my teacher said when we go home we should ask our parents how to say good morning, how to count from 1 to 10, how to count from
before Messi speaks, somebody said that if we don't change the educational system in Cameroon, things will never move.
Never ever.
And youth will continue.
And the problem, another problem with our educational system is because we focus mostly on the theory and not on the practical.
C'est ce que je suis en train de dire. Quand on nous a donné les papiers,
you don't teach the children.
Very few subjects will make us do, like for instance, food and nutrition. Very few, or maybe agriculture, where you can go.
And when you have children who go to this technical school, we sometimes look at them like they are dull. They are not considered like.
At the end of the day, that
they are good.
Let Messi talk. Messi, go on.
The curriculum has changed. It has changed
a little
with the competence-based approach. When you are teaching, you don't just teach, in a vacuum. You bring whatever you are teaching. You make children able to use whatever thing, be it English language, be it history. They'll be able to use it to attack real life situations.
Like
it's no longer like,
okay, it's okay.
Well, it might not be with history.
Let me cut you there. It's okay to do that, but I think that we are still missing it. For instance, if we want to come, I don't want to say that we are in the US or these foreign countries. You can pick. If a child is not smart in the vocab, why don't we give them an opportunity to learn music? Why don't we give them an opportunity to be an actor? Why don't we give them an opportunity from the basic level? We
dancing
schools where these talents will be harnessed.
Dancing, that is Eileen, especially traditional dances. Sometimes we organize dancing competition in school. Where children have to represent particular tribes.
Exactly.
And I think that if they introduce this traditional dance groups in school, it's going to make sense. Because
of course these things exist in schools.
I'm saying that, Messi, let's have schools that have this orientation.
It should be part of the school curriculum.
It should not be a subject. It should be a whole series, or let's say, I'm sure you're getting what I'm saying. It shouldn't be you come to class 1, you learn history, you learn geography, you learn all those subjects. A child should focus on one subject. Focus on it. I don't know, for the extracurricular skills, the ones that will develop their skills. For instance, I said music, maybe dancing. Maybe acting, maybe farming. You start this from the basics. How would that look like?
Because the other day they showed me a video of a young African boy that was il était en train de fabriquer le tissu made in Africa. Il fabriquait. Je crois que cet enfant doit avoir, s'il a trop, c'est 10 ans, un Africain.
Wow.
Et la question que j'ai posée, c'est, mais est-ce que on a la capacité de fabriquer ça? On me dit oui, mais normalement, en tant qu'Africain, notre tenue vestimentaire, ce sont les tissus. Mais ce que la dame est en train de porter tout à l'heure, si tu vas bien regarder, c'est made in China. Ce n'est pas fabriqué en Afrique. C'est made in China. Ça voudrait dire que nous, en Afrique, on a perdu la capacité de produire notre tissu. Et c'est un problème. Mais par contre, lorsque nos ancêtres étaient en train ils produisaient ces tissus. Et les Blancs venaient prendre les tissus là chez eux. Ils ont appris à fabriquer ça ici en Afrique. Ils sont partis avec cette technologie là chez eux. Et nous, aujourd'hui, on a abandonné, on s'est focalisé à Lille, le talon est parti à l'école et on a abandonné la production de nos tissus africains.
What did Talo do to you?
Parce que donc du coup, on se retrouve en train de porter des tissus, on dit que nous sommes des Africains, mais les tissus qu'on porte sont made in China.
That's true.
That's an abomination.
Yeah. Mercy, back to you. Before you talk about which one do you think is best for children or balancing the skill, I don't know for particular children, holiday classes or trade.
Well, talking about trade, first of all, I'm not for holiday classes.
Okay.
I am not for holiday classes.
Okay. She's a teacher, let's say that again. Please, she's a teacher.
Yes,
so people should better understand why she's saying so.
Okay, so learning a trade too depends on the age.
Yeah.
And when we want to talk about trade, one might think that mechanic,
because you might say that it's shared labor
and so on.
Yeah.
Going on the street
To
and
sell
selling
and all that.
Yeah.
No,
well,
no.
trade, like I said, it depends on the age. You cannot take a nursery school child
Yeah,
and
I
say
said
the child
that,
will
yeah.
learn.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
There are other activities, like she was enumerating, that you could take them to a play center and they'll have fun. And they can still learn other things through that. So I am for, choosing an activity during holiday other than school and letting the child learn. School is important. Yes, our curriculum might have a little
No, it's having a problem.
It's not a little problem.
No, it's having a problem.
But we
huge
all
one.
came from there, and we learn the history and the mathematics and the
geography.
economics, so we can really not throw it away.
really.
If you can speak as you're speaking to them,
I am speaking, I am not speaking my dialect. That is a huge
Your
problem.
parents have that responsibility.
To show the
The
dialect.
problem is that my parents, for them, it was the white man's school. That was the very important thing to do, So
Today,
yes,
it is.
On appelle ça comment? Mon langage traditionnel, c'était pas ça qui était important. Ce qui est important, c'est que je dois connaître l'école du blanc. C'est comme ça qu'on appelle ça,
Oui,
non?
c'est parce
Dans
que
notre
la
village.
langue traditionnelle, la langue maternelle peut s'apprendre dans la famille.
Ok.
Tu peux pas aller à l'école, tu demandes au professeur de t'apprendre à parler ta langue
En Afrique,
maternelle.
pourquoi on apprend avec la langue des blancs? Donc,
Mais
nous, on ne
à
peut pas
l'école,
apprendre,
il y a une
on ne peut
matière,
pas apprendre
langue
avec nos
et culture
langues.
camerounaise.
Colonized
Il y a déjà une matière,
so we cannot go back
oui.
there, Gladys.
s'il vous plaît, il y a déjà une matière à l'école,
Oui.
langue et culture camerounaise. Je vois les enfants
Yes.
en train d'écrire
That's true. My children always come back and tell me.
et tout ça. Il y a déjà une matière à l'école.
Gloire à Dieu.
But it's going
There
to
is
take a long time. That
No,
should be an
but
official
the most
language.
important thing is that at least something have started.
It has started.
Yeah.
It will take
So,
decades to get there.
Without derailing from our topic, I want to say that parents should learn to diversify
Thank you.
what their children should do during
holidays. Thank you.
because it's very important for them. There's just a lot. Like I mentioned, Bible. There are workshops they can attend which do not have
Yeah, holiday
anything with
workshops.
Writing,
and so on.
engaging
Like
their
we talked
intellect.
about music.
Contest.
They could learn swimming.
How to
Exactly.
produce soap.
Yes,
Oil.
yeah.
True.
There are
How to
workshops.
make beats. She talked of her children doing beats.
Beats,
at home.
yeah.
These little things that will not skip the child's mind.
Well, doing all that, right, without letting the book part of it
Completely eradicate
lie
it.
low, from time to time, they should also revisit.
Of course.
Without
That's the
necessarily.
teacher talking.
Not necessarily being overburdened by
Yes, without
it.
necessarily. Because when it's a holiday classes, like
Yeah.
you said, you go to school, they will give you homework. You
Yeah.
go back home, the same meeting continues.
Yeah,
Why
for
have
sure.
you failed here? Why have you done this year? So I think that one now is at will.
Yeah.
Let the child from time to time say, okay, can we do a little exercise as far as their book, so that they should really not derail from their school. When they spend the 3 months without also looking at the book from time to time,
Yeah.
they tend to
Becomes a
forget.
problem
By
to
the
them.
time I really have a hard time most often.
You now see that our education system have a big problem.
It does.
Because if you go to school and then for 3 months that you have not gone to school, you forget, then
It's
there is
normal.
a problem.
It's normal that-
no, there is a
You
problem.
have been reciting.
Something that is coming up from inside of you, you can never forget.
Yeah,
it.
this is normal. Let me
There's
tell
something
you.
that they are putting in your head, like you must read it, you must write it. It's
Let me
normal.
tell you something. What I've noticed
Okay.
as a teacher.
Okay.
The kids we have these days, they do not take books seriously.
Okay.
Yes. Because even during school periods, you give a child homework. I've entered a class of about 70 students, and only one did the assignment.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't take it seriously. Okay, you announce a test. It doesn't matter if they fail or they pass. It doesn't.
They don't care.
They don't care about failure. I remember whenever I go to school, whenever I become a student, we are not too old to learn. Even now, I can still go back to school.
Of course.
One of the things that I fear is failure. Our children
and when you're conscious of that, it gives you that push. You want to study.
They do not do homework. And now, how do you? There's a saying in French: "C'est en forgeant que l'on devient forgeron." If you do not visit your book from time to time, how would you? That's why they forget. You teach something today, the next day you come to class and you say, "Who remembers what?"
And that could also be attributed to the laziness of parents, negligence of parents.
J'aime l'adage que tu as pris. C'est en forgeant qu'on devient forgeron. Mais forgeron, c'est on appelle ça comment? C'est un métier. It's a skill.
Well, that's a saying.
So at the end of the day,
everything.
we understand that the most important thing is for you to learn something to do that will be productive.
Okay, are you trying? Let me now. Are you trying to say that parents should not send their children to school?
No, what I'm trying to say is that our education system need to change completely.
Mercy, because after school we have a particular mentality that we must be employed to have a white-collar job. Probably some of us have the grace to work here, but before we work here, we must have done menial jobs because we had that orientation that out of our bookwork, I can do business, I can do this, and I'll earn a living for myself. But most children nowadays, they believe that maybe I should write a concours, I should get into ENAM, I should get into ENS. It's good. But is that meant for everybody? Can they still employ everybody? All this.
That's why at the end of the day, you will see doctors. Wanting to commit suicide, they are begging, protesting, protesting for job. That's annoying.
How does that happen? You understand? From even wanting to commit suicide.
That's annoying. A doctor, you are supposed to produce something, but you are in the street looking for a job and striking because you are not having a job.
Exactly.
But I believe that there are schools like we have technical schools, we have commercial, there are professional schools, especially when the child after advanced level. Some parents will prefer for the child to do something professional to be able to produce something. There's just a lot. It's just that parents too. You don't expect the school to teach to teach all of that. That's why children should be orientated towards some other things. There's a colleague of mine who bakes cake very well.
Yes.
During this holiday, she organized a workshop, and she had people.
She was training.
She trained, and you needed to see what these children produced at the end of their session. So instead of parents to sit and blame the fact that their children who cannot even do homework are not excelling in school, they should also think of ways to empower their kids, to make them responsible and productive human beings who can actually fit themselves into this society and be independent.
True. Thank you very much, Mercy. Let's take a pause there. We're running against time. Time for us to talk about something else, the COVID-19 pandemic. But just continue to send your reactions. We'll take them in a bit, and we're going to give you updates about Cameroon and some countries today. Cameroon so far has recorded 82,455 COVID cases, and the death stands at 1,338. Recoveries 80,433. Do the math back at home. Nigeria counts 182,503 infections of the COVID virus, and the deaths 2,219. Recoveries 167,132. And then we also have Ghana. Ghana counts 111 COVID cases. That's 111,232 COVID cases. Deaths 930, and recoveries 104,298. Please, COVID is still ahead a pertinent health issue, and we all are encouraged to respect the barrier measures. You know, wash your hands, sanitize. We'll not stop singing that song. Okay, we think about all those who are in crisis zones, who could not have a proper opportunity to do some of these things, because sometimes when you're there, no water to wash, no water to bathe and all that, and it could really be embarrassing and frustrating for you. But if you have the opportunity to get a hand sanitizer, always use them before you pick a food item wherever you find yourself. Wear your face mask. It's the best way to protect against the COVID-19. At least you have a protection of about 90 or plus percent of protection when you put on your face. I think 97, yeah, when you put on your face mask. Let's get a commercial break. We will be back after that. Go nowhere.
My Black Crown, MBC. We deal in the sales and delivery of top quality American products and accessories for all natural hair care needs. For nappy hair, we sell products and brands such as Hands Jackies, Shea Moisture, Miel Organic, TGIN, Wild Growth Hair Oil, The Many Choice, Carl's Daughter, As I Am, Kantu, and many more. From shampoos, conditioners, treatment masks, moisturizing butter creams, oils, gels, accessories such as butterfly clamps, perm rods, bonnets, detangling brushes, and many more. My Black Crown, MBC. Our professionalism and experience speaks for itself. The best relationship between price and quality for all classes of the society. Contact WhatsApp 671 12 96 39. Facebook My Black Crown MBC. Instagram My Black Crown MBC. My Black Crown MBC. For the love of our heritage. BT Media is getting better, going further with clearer images. Our channels, My Media Prime, My Movie Africa, French and English, My Music Africa, My Gospel Africa, Real Black 1 and 2 will be upgrading on ENMA 17 with frequency 12,333, symbol rate 30,000 on a vertical polarity 17 degrees east. This is to satisfy our consumers who watch our channels for information, entertainment, and education. BT Media Group, building the future.
Okay, welcome back to the studio, and yes, we have more to talk about concerning today's topic. Mercy Nzelle, our guest for today, is still here in the house. If you have any worry, you can send. She's a teacher. And as we continue, we have one here coming in. It reads, good morning everyone, I'm Berry writing from Limbe. I think holidays should be used as period of rest for the kids. Third-term holidays in Cameroon is quite long, and parents could split out the holidays for different extracurricular activities and lots of rest. There are holiday youth camps organized by some churches, art classes including drawing and painting, beads making, etc. However, if a parent realizes that a child is academically weak in a subject, there is nothing wrong with enrolling the child to get some catch up where they are facing challenges. Generally, what I do for my children is they spend the beginning of the third term holidays resting or engaged in extracurricular activities like music, art, swimming. Then in August, I let them have new class. Okay, that way they find what is taught familiar when school resumes. That's what I've done over the years, and it works for me and my family. That said, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, so parents need to strike a balance depending on the situations they are in. All right, thank you for your reactions. Good morning to you, able ladies in the studio. I like your program. As concerned holiday classes, I prefer a child should learn a trade during the holidays rather than enrolling for the holiday classes. This is because our education system is more theoretical than practical. Again, most holiday classes focus more on making schools have high enrollment and teachers who are poorly paid to have something to eat rather than focusing more on improving children's performance. Thanks, Tafon Lawrence from Limbe. All right, thank you for your reactions, and the program is continuing, and we wait for more of your reaction. But I wanted Mercy to quickly react to this, what these panelists, oh, I beg your pardon, this televiewer said. For students who are, let's say, slack on a subject or slack generally in school, do you think that it's advisable to let them have, let's say, a month, like what most parents are doing now, a month of holiday classes before schools resume? Maybe 2 months after they have celebrated at home, played, have some fun, then before school they take 1 month to revisit the books.
I think that's an idea,
okay.
Especially when you realize that your child isn't really pulling well with studies. There are children who are slow. I think it's not a bad idea for the child to have
catch up.
Yes, to catch up, to organize with teachers, and then put the child through.
Yeah,
at least
it's
that's not a bad idea.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. And we have Dolly Ngonde, who just joined the panelists this morning. Good morning, Dolly, and welcome to In the House. It's afternoon already for sure. How are you doing? I'm fine. Welcome to In the House.
It's always a pleasure, Eileen.
Today we are talking about holiday classes. If children should go for holiday classes, should we enroll them for holiday classes, or should they learn a trade? Okay, what do you think about it?
I'll go for both options, but now it will have to do with let me say splitting the time frames for these two activities, because at the end of the day, a child learning a trade is like gaining knowledge they cannot acquire in school.
Yes.
Some trades like hairdressing, seamstressing and stuff like that, some of these things are not taught in school. So it's very important as well. For instance, if we have the 3-month break like the one we are just experiencing now, I'm not talking about what we are experiencing right now, because we know that
this year was just
because of the
pandemic.
COVID-19 pandemic. But when we're talking about the usuals, like when it used to be normal, it used to be 3 months, and you thinking that your child could only acquire academic knowledge within that period of time is not like 100% a great deal, because it's also time for them to learn new skill, especially if they are talented in a particular domain. You could encourage them to go learn 1 or 2 things there. So maybe holiday classes could take like 1 month, and then learning a trade 1 month, and then 1 month for relaxation, because at the end of the day, learning without playing makes Jack or Jacqueline a dull boy or a dull girl. So it's also important. We're talking 3 months. The first month relaxation for me, the next month a trade, and then the last month now prepares the child for rentrée scolaire, going to school, learning new subjects. And the whole essence of the holiday classes issue, it's just like to orientate children to know certain topics to have a mastery of certain topics beforehand, so that it can be easy for them to understand. And I bet you will have mentioned the fact that it's very advisable, especially for slow learners, children who are slow learners, because there's never a dull child, and it's an opportunity for them to learn, to capture fast, so that when they get to school, it wouldn't be too difficult or cumbersome for them to grasp knowledge.
All right. Your opinion does count, Dolly. You're definitely going to enlighten us more during the lifestyle slot. Let's get some reactions here, then we'll get into the kitchen. Good morning, Media Prime. I think they should learn a trade. Okay, thank you very much. It's my Media Prime TV. That's how we call it. Holiday is that time for week students to wake up from sleep by learning and studying, making them competent for many who were not. I think many students should be enrolled in learning. This keeps them occupied and builds a better future. Is Jeff from What's that? Bonaberry. Okay, thank you very much for your reaction. Good morning to you all in the house. It's Emmanuel Muge Ngum from Yaoundé. Both topics are important, but I would prefer that my children should go for holiday classes. It will increase their reasoning capacity and also prepare them for the next class, while learning a trade will rather be to confuse the child and expose the child to many dangers. But I know Africans love trade than classes. That is why we are jack of all trade. I think that's what you want to say, and master of none, which is not good. Being a jack of all trade, how can you be a jack of all trade if you pick one trade to learn during the holiday classes for your kids, and next year they do the same thing, and the next year they harness these talents and they grow up and can make a living out of it, where school maybe fails them because jobs are not available, unemployment is on the high by the day. Okay, so it's not like you learning so many trades all the time during all holiday classes. No, a child should you should be able to spot a talent in your child, what they are good at. You harness that, make that grow for years. But your opinions does count. Let's hear from Nora what we are eating today. What are we having? It's lunchtime.
Eileen, today we have soya. That's what we have. Soya. Street food. Soya.
Yes.
That's Cameroonian street food. We have this even in Nigeria. In fact, we have it all over African
I'm saying Cameroonians because
we love soya. It's pepperish.
Even at 8 a.m., you see people
soya.
biting soya
of course,
along
Eileen,
the streets all the time.
Most often we take breakfast here with soya and bread when we come to the office.
True.
So it's a Cameroonian. Yeah, it's called soya. In Cameroon, it's called soya. In Nigeria, I think it's also called suya. In Ghana, it's called kebabs.
Okay,
nice. So you have your chopped, beef there. What we need is you have the chopped beef. You have the skewers. Skewers are those are skewers, the sticks. They are either wooden or they are either metallic. Then you have your ground garlic. You have grated ginger. You have the white pepper, the cayenne pepper, vegetable oil, salt, and of course your Maggi taste seasoning cubes. Now you start by, cut the meat into little chops, and then you wash properly. Then you put in a bowl, and then add your grated ginger, the ground garlic, the cayenne pepper, white peppers. In fact, you mix everything together, and you put a drop of vegetable oil and mix everything together. And while you're doing this, while you're doing the mix, now you have to steep. It's always advisable if you're using the wooden skewers. It's always advisable to steep them in water. This simply prevents the sticks from the skewers from getting burnt while you're doing the grilling. So it's always while you're preparing you're mixing the meat and the chopped meat and the spices. Your skewer should be in water. After that, after mixing, you get the skewers and then you start placing the piece of meat, the well seasoned meat.
Sticks.
Put them into the skewers and then you bring it now to. Excuse me. I'm choking.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You place
Yeah,
it
you place it on the grill. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was choking
Sorry
there.
about that.
You place it on the grill and you grill it for about 15 minutes, and then you always try to flip the sides, and then turn the sides of the meat, and let it grill again for about for 15 minutes, and that is it. You just consume it like that with your pepper. Of course, with your pepper by the side.
It's always pepper.
Soya is always good with
available.
pepper.
Yeah.
It's always very
a bit
nice
of
with pepper.
onion also.
Good
cut
sliced
aside,
onion and just
place somewhere.
We
And
always do.
We love it.
We always do soya here with bread. Bread,
plantain,
and then a glass of juice by the
roasted
side.
plantain or dodo.
Eileen, you did not
Chips,
you did not mention fufu corn. You don't take this one
I've
with
never
fufu
eaten
corn.
this one with fufu. Soya
No,
for
she's
me-
a champion of corn fufu. Everything.
Soya for me is to bite now. You mustn't eat it with something like most people just bite it. If there is plantain by the side, roasted plantain or all of that. I promote my culture. I told you last time. We need to promote where we're coming from. Anyways, thank you for the great recipe, Nora. Maybe you should get some water. Let's get to lifestyle, the last slot for the day. Stay with us.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's the last slot of the day with me, Dolly Ngonde. And today on Lifestyle, we'll be talking on how to deal and cope with a slow learner. Yeah, because many parents and teachers, you get to do more harm than good, than you ought to be doing the good. So here are some tips on how you can identify a slow learner and also help them in knowledge acquisition. The first thing is, if you are a teacher or you are a parent to a child who is slow in learning, identify the child's strength. That's the first thing. Before going for the child's weaknesses, look at what that child is good at, because everybody is unique and talented with one or two things that makes them unique. Absolutely. So work on the strength and see how you can develop the child, be boosted in that particular area, so that that particular aspect makes them feel like they're the top of that whole skill that they have, and so it makes them feel like you are the top as well, and you can be respected for that. The next thing also is, when you are teaching a slow learner, give them some comfort, and it's always advisable for you to take them out of the hole, especially when they have been bullied, when they have stories of bullying and all of that. It's no longer advisable for you to just teach them, especially if you want them to understand a particular subject. Give them some privacy and take your time and teach them. And then the next thing also, you who is a teacher or the parents, be accessible to these children. Sometimes only the face that you put, a child is already scared. The child can even ask you like, sir or mama, what is 1 + 1? You're like, you dull thing. No, do not use demoralizing words on children, or your physical appearance shouldn't scare them at all. So be very, very friendly towards the child or the children whom you've identified this weakness with, because it is not beyond repairs. And then the next thing you should be considering as well, if you are a teacher, do not make their homeworks or assignments too cumbersome, because if you you load what they have to do at home, it becomes confusing, because for these people, they see these words or letters like images flying in their heads. So don't make it too cumbersome for them. Give them at their pace and their rate. That's why when we started talking, we said identify their strengths and their weaknesses. And as a parent as well, create time for such children in particular. Don't focus so much on those ones we call or consider the brighter ones, the fast learners as it is. Focus more on the slow learners. Pay attention to them. And if you are also a parent, avoid this attitude of saying that you are too slow to a child, or stop reminding them of their weakness. It's no way to help a child grow. And if you do that, I think you'll be helping them better understand and incorporate themselves into the learning milieu. And the next thing you should be considering as well, if you are a teacher or a student, is that identify their reading postures. Is very important. When a child is studying, identify their postures. Some children are not slow learners because they cannot comprehend facts or what they read, but they are slow learners because the moment you think that they are reading, they are sleeping. So try to always supervise them if they are reading, especially this is for parents in particular. Ensure that your child is actually reading or studying, and be a part of their study group in any way that you can be. And if you're a teacher as well, if you say that children should take time off to read or learn, be a part of that duty as well. So you also have a child who is willing to learn something, Eileen, and is making efforts. I just want to mention this here. And the parent claims to be either too busy, or create time for your children, create time for the students as well, or the pupils. We have many teachers out there who only want to give their attention to the ones who can easily flow with them, but it's not correct. No child should be preferred than another. And then stigmatization is rapidly the last point I'm going to mention out here. Because a child may be slow, in one way or the other, and you haven't identified how to make this child, a fast learner, shouldn't make you be the first person to stigmatize a child, whether you are the parent or the teacher. Most teachers, you call children names like blockhead, cocoyam head, planty head, some dull thing, and then you even go as far as making the child feel excluded from the crowd, and they feel intimidated. And school becomes like a nightmare. When it's Monday, the child starts feeling sad. And this message now goes to parents out there, especially those who are sending their children to day school. If you see your child's enthusiasm beginning to reduce for the love of school, please pay special attention. It's either that child is being bullied at school by his friends or her friends or their teachers. So you need to talk with a guidance counselor, is that how we call it, yeah? And also find out what they are playing as role upon that child's upbringing, because bringing up a child is not for one person. And like we have the quote on the screen that you're seeing right now, slow learners learn but slowly. We should understand that and make every child feel special, because they are like stars on earth.
Perfect, Dolly. Thank you very much. Slow learners learn, but slowly. I love that so much. And if we have to think about that, I think we would not bully a child. Being a parent or a teacher, do not bully children. Do not give a right to their peers to bully them as well. Don't make them look dull. Like she said, nobody is dull. We just have people who learn slowly. Their brains are not as fast. Yeah, it doesn't work as fast as maybe those of the first takers. So first takers, like somebody has commented here on our Facebook page that everyone cannot be first. Yes, everyone can never be first. So there's always a position for each class member, and we shouldn't kill a child, flog the child, because the child doesn't fail because they wanted to fail. It's because they are slow, and it will take them time. Sometimes they can get to 10, 11 before their brains can start gathering this class work and book work and all whatnot. So when they're still at the primary level, you can only do a little to continue encouraging them, push them up. I want to say shout out to you, Glo Mudo, yes, and you, Sipet Items. And you as well, Marinette Londe. Thank you for the love on our social media handle, Facebook. But before we go, Mercy, you're going to have the last word. Advice to parents and teachers as yourself concerning children, especially the slow learners, because school is coming back in 2 weeks or so. You'll be faced once more with a crowded classroom, noise here and there. And sometimes we insult these children. We insult those who are really slow. I want you to advise parents and teachers.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm a perfect teacher. You know, sometimes you are pushed to the wall, and you find yourself using some kind of words on your learners. Yeah. You know, sometimes it's just so frustrating. Out of Cameroon, you'll find a class of 15 students. But here we are faced with a crowd. Sometimes it's really not easy, but we are called to do the job. Yes. So when we are entrusted with a task, I'm saying I want to use inclusive language, because I am also involved. When we are given that task to educate young Cameroonians, we should be patient. Okay. Yes, like Dolly said, she elaborated on how to cope with the slow learner. You always find them in classrooms. True, everywhere. Yes. And so you can really not think that they'll work at the same pace with those who are fast learners. There are some people, you just explain something
and it's once. A blessing. Not everybody is built like that.
Yeah. So for teachers, I think we should merge both the slow learners and the fast learners. Okay. Sometimes we have a tendency of separating. Okay, these ones are the ones who understand
slowly. You make them feel already. Yeah. Then you put the smarter ones.
Then the smarter ones, they are there. The slow learners, the dull ones. Let them just be there and do their thing
on themselves.
You know what I usually do in my class? I'm a language teacher. I teach French. I teach English. So what I do, especially when I'm teaching French, you always meet those who come from the other side, from southwest, from northwest. And already you entering a class and everybody saying bonjour, madame, the child is already beaten. By the time you ask a question and you are looking at that child, the child is already trembling. Say, some even start crying, especially the junior ones. Madam, I don't speak French. So we need to merge this, make them and encourage them so that they come up.
Okay, thank you very much, Mercy Nzelle. It was amazing having you here in the house today to tackle this important. We'll wait for you any other time.
Okay.
Yes, and the house welcomes everybody at any time. So thank
God
you.
willing.
Thank you to our televiewers, those who contributed. Many thanks for your great participations this morning. Thank you, Dolly Ngonde. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, GLADYS. The crew behind the camera, Mancho, Desmond, Abril. Thank you all for making sure that images were